What separates someone that's good and someone that's great? Well, people that are good, they're just okay. There's nothing remarkable about what they do. They're average. They're not average, they're above average. They're better than the average person. They're going the extra mile. They have some good habits. They're working on themselves. They understand what they're good at and they are trying their best to live up to it. But the great person, the person that's doing great things, has transcended that. They are chasing something more fundamental, more powerful, profound than just pure material action. They're chasing an identity. They're chasing someone to be. Okay? So let's break that down. So how to go from good to great? It's pretty simple actually. It's three principles that you already know that you just don't live up to. It's three things: focus, discipline, and never quitting. Okay? If you can do these three things, whatever they mean to you, then you will be extraordinary. You will go from good to great. You'll turn pro. You'll be exceptional. You'll be the exception. You'll be the guy that everyone else wants to be. That's number one, focus. What do I mean by focus? I mean it in every single way that you can imagine, right? I mean, when you're working, you're locked in. You're focused. You're actually doing the thing. You're not listening to music. You don't have Netflix on the side and the actual work in front of you. No. It's just the work in front of you. Hoodie on, noise canceling uh, earbuds on, no music, dialed in, dark room. Eyes are tied to the screen. You are locked in on the task at hand. It doesn't even need to be work, right? This could be in a conversation with your mom. You're literally distracted. You're on your phone texting. You're walking around. You're not actually being present in the conversation. And the reason why you have such mediocre relationships isn't because of you or them. It's because you're both distracted and you're both not focused and present in that moment. You're not focusing on the conversation itself. You're not focused on the other person. You're not even focused within either. You're focused on just external distraction. So the first step of focus is cut out distractions. Cut out distractions, okay? I talk about this all the time. You just need to get off of your phone, delete social media, and just say goodbye to all these vices because you don't need them. You genuinely don't need them. Do you need your phone whenever you're talking to somebody? No. No, you don't. You literally do not need it. You cut out distractions if you want to focus there. And here's the other side of focus that some people never, ever come to understand in their life. The idea of pick one, okay? You have to pick one thing. You don't pick all of the food on the menu. You don't pick 5 different jobs. You don't do 5 different tasks at the same time. You don't try to establish 5 different good habits at the same time. You pick one. This is focus. I've talked about essentialism before. But you want to look at this drawing, right? Is that on camera? Yeah. This is your pool of energy. And someone that is not focused sends their energy in 20 different directions to 20 different projects, 5 different friends, 16 different jobs, and as a result, their output is only within this range. The distance of their outcomes only this far, right? But the focused person has this energy, and they send it in one direction. Phew. They have this pool of energy, and they send it in one direction towards one thing, and guess what? This outcome is extraordinary. This outcome is what makes them great. So that's a huge differentiator between people that are just good. Ah, something flew into my nose. Anyway, oh, okay. This is what separates good from great. The great people only do one thing at a time, and they become really fucking good at that thing. And so with their pool of energy, they get more. They get more output from it, because they're not spreading it out across multiple little things. So this is one of the biggest realizations that I've had in my life. It's the idea that your energy is limited, and if you send your energy out in 20 different directions, you're gonna get nowhere in all of them. And I get it. If your circumstances force you to work a job, go to school, take care of the kids, clean the house, do all the things, then it's difficult to have this focus because your energy is inherently spread apart. But there are things in your life, distractions, bad habits, vices, that are sucking your energy. They're not fundamental. Like, you do not need to do them, that you're doing to cope, and that is sucking up your energy. There's always distractions you can cut out. There's always little things you do that are stealing your energy and pulling you in a different direction that you cut down on, even if you have other responsibilities. So stop making excuses for yourself. Yeah, so that's the principles of focus. It's quite literally cut out distractions and pick one thing to do at a time. Next, discipline. This one is tough. This one is the consistency that most people. These two, actually, 2 and 3, are built upon each other. 2 and 3 are symbiotic. If you lose one of them, you lose the other one. So if you quit, you'd have you've lost your discipline. If you don't have discipline, then you're gonna quit. How to be disciplined? What does it mean to be disciplined? It basically boils down to showing up and doing the thing, especially when you don't feel like doing the thing. Why? Why is it that specific definition? It's because the most difficult moments of building a good habit or doing something, showing up to work, doing a good job, is whenever you're able to do it and fight the resistance to not do it. It's whenever the thing is hard and you don't want to do it that builds the muscle of being able to show up. Because imagine how easy it is to show up to the work and do the work whenever you're motivated and you're actually happy and excited to do it. Requires no energy. You don't need motivation because you want to do it. But it's the moments whenever you're tired, you're burnt out, you just feel like shit, and you don't want to do it. That is the most important moment. That is when the discipline comes in, to show up and do it anyway. Because you need to be able to detach your emotion from doing an action, right? Real discipline is not being able to do the action whenever it feels good and whenever it feels easy. Anyone can do that. The real discipline comes from being able to do the thing whenever it's hard, whenever it sucks, whenever you feel like shit. That's what builds the muscle. And so the way you can frame this is that whenever you don't want to do something, that should be the most compelling evidence to do it, because you build a muscle to prove to yourself that you can do this even whenever you aren't motivated, even whenever you don't want to do it. So you build the muscle and the strength and the willpower and you detach yourself from the emotion of having to do the thing. And this makes you incredibly dangerous. This makes you great. This is a big differentiator between good and great. And then obviously, symbiotically, never quitting. If you can have discipline, then you never will quit. You will literally never quit because you will always choose to do it, even if it sucks and even if you don't want to do it. So it literally makes it almost impossible for you to quit. Unless you die or something. You can never quit. So 2 and 3 are symbiotic. If you don't want to quit, then just be disciplined. And if you never quit, then you are disciplined. Because if you never quit, then you show up and do the thing regardless of how you feel. So, if you want to go from good to great, you need to focus on the arrow. This arrow. It's the identity shift. It's the transformation. This arrow represents literally it basically represents time, right? This arrow basically represents time. Why do I say time? It's because focus, discipline, and never quitting inherently force you to do something that sucks and is painful for a extended period of time. You need to do this shit for years, for months. You need to show up and do the thing even when you don't want to for a time. You need to have focus for time, right? You need to do this over a long enough time period so that you can build the muscle to show up every day and be disciplined, never quit, and have that focus. And whenever you're able to do this, you pick something, let's say it's knitting, you want to knit, but and you're just okay, you're just good, you know. You're good at knitting. Your work is okay. You can people are like, oh yeah, it looks pretty nice. But you want to be great. You want to be one of the best knitters to ever live. Well, that's gonna take time, first of all. It's gonna take focus. It's gonna take discipline to not quit. And that is it. That is the formula. Focus and never quitting. Focus and showing up to do the hard thing, especially when you don't want to, over a long enough time horizon. And it doesn't matter what the thing is. It doesn't matter if it's knitting, a sport, a job, a career, a business. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as you have focus and you never quit and you do it, especially when you don't want to, and you build the muscle and the belief in yourself and the identity of someone that does do this thing great. You adopt the identity of someone that is destined for greatness. Goodbye.